Nkosi Talk Shows family is Nomsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. With me today is Carol Ann Cooper. How are you, Carol Ann?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome, awesome. So today we are talking about unlocking your potential and transforming into the best version of yourself. We all have a sense of what we are capable of, but do we truly know how to unleash our fully potential and become our best self? Well, battle up because we are going to find out. And Carol Ann chose this topic. And Carol Ann, could you please explain the topic to the audience? I know the topic has been changed a little bit, but it's still the same.
It is. It's perfect, and it started out as the secret of being the best of yourself, and it's like, well, what is that secret? And so we'll explore that. But certainly, how you unlock your potential and transform into the best version of yourself. That's what it's all about. And I'm intrigued, actually, what you've just said. You all have a sense of what we're capable of. I'm wondering if we actually do. And that's why I think this is a topic to explore, because I sometimes think people really don't have a sense of what they're capable of. They'll settle for where they're at, and there's something else to be had and gained from going into that inquiry. Well, is this the best version of myself? And then exploring that, and then going, well, and is this the best version of myself? Because I think we are all capable of more, and I know we are, but somehow I think we tend to settle. So let's explore the best of yourself. Being, we talk about potential, and they at school they say it's about achieving your full potential. Well, actually, when you're at school, what does that mean to you? I don't think it means a lot at that age, because it's like, okay, my full potential. What are you talking about? I have no idea. There's a word there, potential, that maybe doesn't mean anything. And as I'm talking, I'm getting a sense of that word now. It's starting to mean something to me. Because for me, words were always didn't mean anything. They were always like dead on the page. I'd look at them and somebody would say something and use a word, and in my head I'm going, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I couldn't actually ask the questions to get the understanding. And I always felt myself to be stupid, or I'll just go, okay, and got a clue what you're talking about. And I back off. Whereas now I will look at those words that don't speak to me, that don't have any movement or meaning to them, but they've just been used. And it's like, okay, let's explore that. And it's that willingness to explore that has me be able to move into a better version of myself, because there's a willingness to explore, there's a willingness to grow, to learn. So that's where I think it's great to explore this topic. And potential, when I see that word now, all of a sudden I go back to physics lessons. And it's the physics, isn't it? Potential energy. It's like, it's what is possible. It's this potential energy is energy that hasn't yet been released. I never really understood that before. How cool is that? I'm just going, oh my God, all of a sudden I've understood. It's come to life. And sometimes we don't realize something until later on in life. And it's waking up that desire to know ourselves in a different way. So this really fits with my theme this year of reinventing myself, getting to know myself in a different way, putting myself out there in a different way. Yeah, totally reinventing myself. So potential, what potential energy that has not yet happened? What potential have we got that has not yet been unlocked, that hasn't come out yet? And it comes as we grow. It's not something you just learn at school. School is just the foundation. Just said, so is the seeds. Everyone keeps saying, oh, we should have learned that at school. Oh, we should have learned that at school. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. School is such a small part of your life. It sets a foundation of learning, of wanting to know yourself more. And as you grow and you live life, that's where your potential starts to come out. Or you have that, the potential is there for you to find your potential. Yeah, does that make sense?
Does make sense.
Yeah, I really love to redefine and shift people's ideas around education and school and this constant making it wrong. Because, okay, it doesn't work, and yet it does work, but people don't realize how it does work. And you can make it work for yourself if you fully understood that. But they make it wrong. And therefore they're in that blame and make wrong. And they don't make the best of it that they possibly can. The potential that is there to grow is huge. It's huge. Way beyond just the basic academic stuff, you know.
Yeah, the potential is there. I love that, Carol Ann, when you're saying we are all capable for more. And you know, as a person, you have to think about the things that excite you, the things that you are passionate about, and the goals you have for yourself. We all have goals, and you mentioned that you have to learn to explore things in life. And life is about being able to achieve the goals that you want. We might set up goals, but then we might not be able to achieve all of them. But we have to celebrate those little wins. When you celebrate the little wins, you will be able to actually achieve more and more and more, because you appreciate those small things. I went to Eric's webinar that you sent me the link, and he gave us the link for AI, and I went to this link and I was trying to do some art, and I was amazed how things come out, and I was like, what now?
Yeah.
So I was like, and then I was like, let me just explore things. So I saw a YouTube video yesterday talking about it, and I was like, I need to go back to that video, and I need to go back to the thing and do some arts. I managed to do 5 angels. They come out really good. And I was like, this is awesome. What is this world turning into? But people are panicking. For me now, the question I have is, what is the future for our children? What is there if now that we have all this AI that is being designed? So hopefully we have an amazing future. And I know that our children are going to take advantage of it and make use of it, and hopefully learn to make money online. I'm hoping my daughter is going to do that, because she loves watching TikTok video and learning how to make money. And I'm hoping she's going to do that. And so you just have to know that you have power within you. to make things happen, but how do you unlock that potential to transform into the best version of yourself, Carol Ann?
Oh, I love what you just said. You have the power within to make
Yeah.
things happen. And that's key. It's understanding that. And more than just understanding it, it's working with it and letting it show itself, trusting that that is so, and just keep putting that out there, what it is you want to have happen, and just keep opening up into, well, what do I need to do? Who do I need to be in order for something to happen? Because we are creators. We don't need to stay as victims. Things don't happen to us, they happen for us, to help us to grow, to help us to understand ourselves, and to know what is the best version of ourselves. And I love this quote. It's a quote that I read many, many years ago. It's in this book called The Science of Getting Rich, by Wallace D. Wattles. And it's got a special introduction by Bob Proctor in it. But there's a quote by Steve Bow. And when I read this, it's something that really spoke to me. And I keep forgetting about it, and then it comes back again. And the last few days, it keeps popping back in my mind. And today it popped back in again. And that is that God's gift to you is more talent and ability than you could possibly use in your lifetime. Your gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as you can in this lifetime. So that idea of the best of yourself, it's all that talent and ability. The potential means you've got talent and ability that's there that you probably have no awareness of. And so it's allowing yourself to become aware of, well, what is this talent and ability that I have that I could be developing and making the best use of? Because that then helps me work towards and be the best version of myself. So that, I love that. So think about God's gift to you is more talent and ability that you could possibly use in your lifetime. Just think about that potential. There's more than you could possibly use this lifetime. So how much of it are you actually using? You're probably scratching the surface. So you think about, you're just scratching the surface of that potential. Is that the best version of yourself then? So how about let's unlock this potential? Let's explore, what is this potential? How can we unlock it? How can we transform into the best version of yourself? And keep going, because actually what I'm reading there is that the best version of you, there's always another version, there's always another better version. And it will go on throughout your whole lifetime. And this is where the phrase lifelong learning, I think, comes in. That people, I don't think, fully understand that term, lifelong learning. It's constant, there's always something to learn. And for me, it's learning about yourself, what you're capable of. Because in learning that, you find yourself just exploring different subjects, different fields, different ideas, different concepts. And so doing, you get to know yourself at a different level. So enjoy that exploration. Because if you settle who you are now, then you're not growing. And there's only two ways to go. You're either growing or you're dying. So if you're not growing, then go, okay, so what part of me is dying? And I think for me, what happened and what stopped me, I've been growing, but really at a very small, very slow pace, because a part of me has been dying. And that's where I stopped dreaming. I realized that at some point in my life, I stopped dreaming about what I could potentially do, what I could potentially achieve. And now, this last week, all of a sudden, it's like something sparked, and I'm going, oh, okay, because things are happening. And I started dreaming again. It's brought an excitement to me and a realization that, okay, I can keep living more, I can grow more. And so those parts of me that have been dying, I put a spark of life back into. And so, yeah, this life, there is an excitement. But it's like riding the waves. You have to be down there and be with what's showing up. But get in touch with what is it that you're truly here for this lifetime. And the more you can get in touch with that, that's what will keep you going. So what are your thoughts, Nomsa?
I here for in this life. So if anyone is watching a YouTube families, please join into the conversation, and LinkedIn family, join into the conversation, and YouTube, Twitter, please feel free to join into the conversation. While Carol Ann is asking me this amazing question, what am I here for on this 8th? I'm here to add value to God's children. I'm here to actually to understand that I'm not just ordinary, I am extraordinary, and I have the potential to go for the things that I want, to go for the things that I desire in life. And I have, Carol Ann, you mentioned that, what do I need to be able to grow? And you mentioned the talent and the abilities. Everyone, for me, as a child, I believe, as a child of God, I believe that we all have abilities to become who we are created to be. I believe that we are all talented. Everyone has a unique talent. Although we choose to talk ourselves out of that talent, I believe that we all talented. We all have been given a gift and assignment while we are on earth, but we are not using that gift. And also, I know that we all have abilities and capacities to develop, to actually grow, and to improve, make some improvement in our lives. But some people do succeed, but some people do give up. And for me, what I would say, anyone that is watching, and if you want to become who you want to become, you have to understand what is your assignment while you are here on earth. And you have to know that people do not define who you are as a person. In order for you to unleash the best version of yourself and understand your full potential, you have to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, some people say, how do I believe in myself when life goes against me? Life will always throw you with things that you didn't ask for. Your health, relationships, finances, and everything. Like right now, we're into recession. Some people are worried, but some people are actually taking advantage of the situation, finding potentials of how they can make money to improve the world. So some people are taking advantage of a recession. So when everybody else is taking advantage of the recession, what are others doing? So you have to be one of those that are taking advantage of the situation and create a life, create the best version of yourself by understanding your talent. What are you talented? My friend called me last week. She's telling me about her problems. No, so these are my issues. This is what I'm going through. So I was like, hang on a minute here. Can I ask you a question? What are you what's your talent? And she goes, no, sir, I love clothes. I love designing clothes. So I was like, so what are we doing here? We're having a conversation about how horrible your life is. Can we get into designing? Because when you get into designing, you get inspired, you bring the best out of you, and you get creative. And she was like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cut the phone now. I'll speak to you in a few days. Call me what you've decided. So she calls me a few days ago. She goes, okay, you'll be really, really proud of me. I was like, what's happened? She goes, we need to chat on the video. And she shows me these designs that she's been cutting, she's been designing. I was like, now you're speaking my language. Now you're speaking my language. And she's like, it's so amazing. And she's telling me her dream. She's telling me what she's going to do. I was like, that is amazing. That is amazing, because, you know, life will bring things that we didn't ask for, but it does not mean that we have to stop becoming who we want to become. And for me, I believe that because I don't just speak, I live it. Even though when I left home, I believe in myself, and I knew I'm very quiet. Some people might see me talk, but they think, oh, no, I'm very, very quiet. I'm the quietest person in my family. So I was like telling my family I'm traveling. My family were like, don't think so, you're very young. I was like, yeah, I'm going. My dad decided with me, and my stepdad was like, that's what I need. And my mom was like, okay, I'm going. So I traveled, and I had so much fun when it comes to life and making decisions. Was it easy? It wasn't easy. Living in the United Kingdom and just working hard, starting my business and meeting people. It's just an amazing journey. And starting Ngozi Talk Shows, and Ngozi Talk Shows was Legacy Wealth Talk. So we started Legacy Wealth Talk, but things didn't work out. So, but that was part of the journey that I had to learn to choose my friends very, very carefully. But I'm glad that I started Legacy Wealth Talk as Legacy Wealth Talk, because there were so many things that I've learned there. And I took everything that I've learned. Actually, I've learned that life can change within a second. I remember holding I'm like, Legacy Wealth Talk is gone. And I'm like, what am I going to tell these people? And I was like, Des, could you please design Ngozi Talk Shows? Everything, YouTube, everything. When I woke up in the morning, everything was up, the banners were up. And I was like sending messages to you guys. We are now Ngozi Talk Shows, not Legacy Wealth Talk. No one asked questions, actually. What happened? Everyone is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but deep down in my heart, I knew that I was carrying so many people, and I couldn't let myself down, and I couldn't let my friends down as well, because you guys are part of my family. I was like, I couldn't let you down. So I was like, I just need to keep going. So the reason why I'm sharing this is life will happen. Things will happen that you didn't expect, but you have to see it as a blessing, because when you see it as a problem, you can't get up. But if you see every problem as a blessing, and how can I use this blessing that he has come in a different form? How can I use it? And then find a way to actually find a miracle in that blessing. When you find a miracle and then you create something out of it. For me, I was able to create something out of it. It gave me strength. And then it gave me a way, an understanding of how to solve problems. Because at that moment, I remember I was in the kitchen standing and I was like, what? My friend is kicking me out from Legacy Wealth Talk. And I was like, is there going to be anything, the talk show, is it going to continue? And I was like, okay, but we started this together. And I was like, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. But it shows that life can be different sometimes. Life can be different sometimes, but you just have to know that people don't define who you are. They can't tell you what you cannot be and who you can. I always say myself that if you didn't make me, you cannot define me. Only God can define my life. Only God can define what I'm capable of. And when I have a coach, if I go to a coach and they ask them to do something and they're like, Nomsa, this is impossible. I'm like, it was impossible. It was impossible before, now it's possible. So we can do this. And I know we can. And even here at Ngozi Talk Shows, I know that there are some things that we can do. We can get to where we need to be. And only it requires patience. It requires us to believe in ourselves. It requires so many things. And for me, with God, everything is possible. What do you think, Carol Ann?
Absolutely. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
It's just believing that and standing in that faith and just keep going, okay, so what do I need to do now? And if things, something doesn't work out as you wanted it to, it's looking at, well, what has showed up? Because this will be an answer to your quest that you've put out there, what it is you've been asking for. There will be an answer. As you say, it doesn't always come in the form that you think it should or that you wanted it to. So it's just saying, okay, thank you. Not quite what I had in mind.
You don't have problems in mind.
But just say thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity that's come my way. I'm grateful for what's shown up. And could you show me how this is in answer to what I've asked for? Because sometimes you can't see that it's an answer. And the answer will come, but it's actually acknowledging that you have been answered. Your requests, your prayers have been answered. And it's being grateful for what has shown up, for the people that have shown up, for the situation, the opportunity, whatever it is. And for me, what suddenly came to mind is, okay, my house got repossessed. Did I really want that to happen?
No.
Nah, not really. But I've learned from it. I've grown from it. I'm still here. It's 14 years later. I can't believe where that time's gone to. I've survived. And it's what showed up were people who have supported me along the way. There were people that showed up to support me in getting my belongings out of the house. It was a 4-bedroom, okay, it was a semi-detached house, but it had a huge extension on the side. It had 4 bedrooms and 30 plus years of stuff in it, because I'd lived in there for 30 odd years. So I had a load of people show up who supported me in getting out of that house what needed to be got out. And okay, a lot of it is still in storage. It's costing me money.
Why have you got stuff in the storage, by the way?
because I still haven't got round to letting it go.
I thought you were going to get rid of it.
I downsized it last year. So I got rid of half and I managed to downsize more than half. I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So it took me all those years to be able to go, okay, I can now let go of that. And sometimes we hold on to things. And actually what I realized was that what I've paid out, and okay, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it was for peace of mind. That was the price for me of peace of mind, of just thinking, okay, I can't face that at the moment. And then last year I was able to face it and just go, oh, why have I kept that? Why have I kept that? And it was just letting go, letting go. But up until that point, I couldn't do it. And I think sometimes we force people to do something, and then that's where sometimes regrets can come in. And so it doesn't really feel comfortable. For me, what I let go of last year, I'm fine. I have no regrets. There's only one thing I regret with letting go, and that was my computer. Because now I realize I could have actually perhaps brought that back here, had a look in it to see if there was anything that was there that I still needed or wanted, and could have got rid of it there. So that's the only one thing that sort of has come back to me, that I do have a, oh, well, that there was that was on there, and there was that was on there, but I have to let go of that because I can't access that now. And so maybe I don't actually need it. There's a realization that sometimes there's things you've got to let go of. And the universe has a way of saying, just let go of it. You really don't need it anymore. You really don't. As much as you might believe you do, you don't. You know, and that can be a bit tough. But it's like the things in my mum's house that my sister and I still have. Over time, we've been letting go of things. It took us a while to let go of quite a lot of the stuff in there. We had 3 piles, you know, it was like, okay, rubbish, or send, you know, get rid, charity shop, keep. And then a year later, I'm able to go through all the stuff that was keep and go, quite a lot of it, well, why am I keeping this? And I could let it go. It's like there's an attachment for some reason you just can't let go. So it's been able to reach that point of that can go. And that is a really comfortable place to be. There was no forcing, there was no, you've got to do this, which can create tension and anxiety within you and resentment. And that creates ill health. Whereas just let go of things. It's been beautiful. And I'm just grateful that I had this time to do it. So, yeah, my house got repossessed, and I say there's still some stuff in storage, but my next goal is to get rid of, we'll be able to let go most of that. I am going in March. I'm going for 2 days because it's all in Gloucester. So it's been able to get Gloucester, which is a good hour and a half 2 hours journey, car ride from here. And I'm going to spend a couple of days there. And I'm going to focus on, there's one thing in that storage unit that I feel I need to really have it to clear. It's a huge suitcase that's full, and I mean crammed, packed full of papers. It was so heavy, I couldn't lift it. I couldn't even lift the handle to wheel it, you know. And that's my focus. I feel that represents something in my life that can be cleared. So that's what I'm going to focus on doing, is actually clearing out and sorting through that suitcase. Because to me, it feels like that's a huge clog, a weighty, I mean, any weight in my life that can now be sorted out and let go of and make things a bit lighter. And then it's like, okay, metaphorically, I wonder how that's going to then show up in my business and in other ways. Now, and that's what I love to play with. So that's where I'm at the moment. But certainly yeah, there's a letting go. It's being aware of, okay, there's lessons, these opportunities, these challenges are opportunities, have come out of your prayer that you've put out there, and it's been able to recognize that. And I love something about you said about don't let people define you. There's a quote by a guy called Leo Buscaglia. The easiest thing to be in the world is you. The most difficult thing to be is what other people want you to be. Don't let them put you in that position. And I was thinking, wow, if that is the easiest thing in the world to be, is me, why do I make it hard? Why do we make it difficult or think it's difficult to be me? And that's where the answer lies, because we are trying to be what other people want us to be. And I think, again, that comes down to your bringing up, your background, family, friends, school, all of that. And that is still with your inner child. So it's that inner child that needs to be spoken with, have a conversation with, so that that can then be transformed, so that that inner child can realize, well, actually, I was being made to be someone I'm not. I was being made to do something that at that moment in time, I didn't actually have the ability to do. It doesn't mean that I'm not able to do it. It's just at that moment in time, I wasn't capable of doing it. And once you can heal that and let that inner child grow up, you'll start to realize, well, actually, I do have the ability now, because you're a different person. There's a different version of you. And this is where allowing yourself to grow comes into it, because you can awaken those abilities. You can recognize that actually over the years, you've grown that ability, that talent has developed, and that actually what that inner child was stuck with, you can actually now do, but you're not allowing yourself to do it because the inner child is running the show. Once that inner child stops running the show, that's where you can step into the best version of yourself. Because then it's like, oh, actually, I can do this. Wow, this is amazing. And this is where then you can then start saying, well, yes, what is it? What do I truly love doing? And I love what you were saying there about that person asking them, what is it they truly love? Because yes, that is where you get inspired, you get creative, because it's like, wow, I love doing this. And it fires your creativity. And this is where you then grow. It is through being creative, because there's that word creator, you're creating. And I just seen yesterday my eldest granddaughter, and I was going, wow, she's some creativeness that is coming out within her again. When she was at school, she was very creative. Her artwork was amazing, but it completely got subdued, it got squashed. The fire in her, the passion for it got put out because of the way what she was being expected to do, to jump through hoops to get through an exam. It literally squashed her creativeness. And this is what, quite a few years later now, all of a sudden she's found an interest. She's been playing around with putting balloon structures together for parties. And she's now created a business out of it. And she's done the most amazing balloon structure for her sister's 18th birthday, which is today. And I'm looking at it going, wow. The structures that she creates get more and more creative. And I just feel like that her creativeness is coming out. She's been able to do something that she loves doing. You know, playing around, putting coloured balloons together in a certain pattern or a certain order, big ones, small ones, in a certain shape, you know? It's just like my heart's singing because she's now doing something she truly loves. And that she's inspired and she's created a business out of it. How cool is that? You know, her creativeness is growing. So I can see a better version of herself being allowed to come alive. So recognize where you've been squashed, where your creativeness has been subdued, and just don't make it wrong. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It can come to life again. It can come to life again. So it's having that faith and that belief, you know, and maybe what prayer did you put up at some point in your life, even at that younger age, that had you experience that? Because this is where I believe you're creator of your life and your realities. So people will show up to give you that experience.
Of course.
So for some reason, she's put out something and that teacher showed up, squashed her creativity. And now she's gone on a completely different journey to what she probably would have done after school, learned some amazing skills, is, you know, standing out as a great manager in the job that she has got and in the other jobs that she's done over this time, but is now also building her own businesses. It's just like, it's exciting. So I think the secret of being the best of yourself is being curious as to, well, who is this person? What is the best version of me? And just being curious and open. And as Alvin Toffler says, and this is another quote I heard many years ago that I live by: the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And so this is where you can then find and discover the best version of yourself. Okay, you've learnt one way. Okay, unlearn it and relearn. So what are your thoughts? Where's your thoughts gone with all this conversation now? Nonsense.
I love that when you talk about the expectations that sometimes it can crush your creativity. I went to school one day to a parents' evening for my daughter, and her teacher mentioned that when she did some of her exams, she got 70% or 78%, I can't remember, and she was crying. But the teacher waited, didn't say anything to us. She waited for parents' evening. She wanted to hear how we're gonna respond. So I was like, what now? When she was crying, I was like, what's going on, Hope? So I started explaining to her that, you know, we don't cry when we get the results. We have to appreciate the time when we go to school, when you go to school, you get up in the morning, you go to school. And she got this idea because she goes to school where all the rich kids are. And to them, 70% is not enough. So I said to her, in my house, we don't believe that way. So I was like, you have to appreciate it in order for you to get 100%, because she's a smart kid. So in order for you to get 100%, you got to appreciate that 70%. And also, it depends with the exams, how hard they were, because you can't expect to get. So I was like, what is wrong with 70% anyway? And asking her. So the teacher was like, I'm glad that that's what you're teaching your daughter, because some parents, they have really, really high expectations for the children. So I didn't know your expectations with Hope, what do you expect with her? And I was like, my expectations for her is to actually have gratitude for the person that she is and who she's becoming. The rest comes natural. So I spent the whole year teaching the girl how to actually accept who she is and who she could become. Now everything happens natural. She's an A+ child, but when she does get 70%, she goes, Mommy, never mind, I got 70% or I got 80%, it doesn't matter. She actually loves it now, but it doesn't happen very often. But it's something that I had to teach her to say, you know what, you have to accept things that they're not going to go your way. And at the same time, and even her younger sister as well, she was during lockdown. And me, I'm not a teacher anyway, and I don't like arguing with the children. And my daughter, she couldn't understand the learning online. My youngest one couldn't understand it. She was like, why do I have to go on the video and sit down and somebody explains to me? I thought we go to school and sit down in the class. I was like, it's lockdown, Kayla. So she wouldn't get it.
Oh, no.
So she really struggled, and then after lockdown, so I had to hold on to faith that she'll go back to where she should be. And she has gone back to where she should be, because I am a person that my values and beliefs are, I have to believe in my children. If things like you were talking about putting up a prayer, I put up a prayer for God to actually help me and unlocking the full potential of my children, of my life, so my life can be transformed into a best version of myself. And that's what I do. And I believe that your values and your beliefs, they actually form the foundation of who you become at that moment. So whatever you water into that foundation is going to create the person what you become. For me, as I like, every time I do something, I have to hear your voice, Carol Ann, saying, you can't say you can't do it. Have you been on YouTube? I've been trying to actually create the thumbnail and somebody else created the thumbnail. It's not perfect, the one that I've actually worked it out. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. And I've tried somebody else doing it and that person doing it. And I'm not connecting. I wasn't connecting with whatever was happening. But then one day I just go online. I was like playing and playing and playing. And I was like, actually, I love this. This will do for now. And I was like, I'm so happy with it. And it's just understanding who you are and identifying your beliefs and your values, and also make decisions that aligns with who you are. Because if you don't make those decisions and wait for people to tell you who you could become, it's not going to work. You'll be waiting for a very, very long time if you are somebody who is waiting for people to actually wait for you. We actually get dressed. We have our spouse, we get dressed, we expect our spouse to tell us how beautiful we are. If we're not going to believe it, no matter how hard they tell us, it's not going to bring that fulfillment within. So fulfillment comes from within. The full potential the foundation is built within. And there are things that we could spend the rest of our lives fighting. I'm not good enough, fighting ourselves, because we are the enemy within, fighting that I'm not good enough. No one is gonna love me, or this and this. You know what? I've learned this from 2009. My life wasn't going the way I want, and I was like, finished playing football, and I was like, I think this is my last game. And I finished football, and I'm retiring. I don't want to play no football no more. I need to explore life. And when I got home, and I realized that I wasn't happy with my life within, so I took Paul McKenna's programs. So my fridge was covered with notes. Like I got into my own university, teaching myself how to be me, how to actually find that NOMSA that I have neglected. Honestly, growing up as a child, my grandparents taught me to be me. And my father taught me to be me, and my stepdad and my mom. When I came to the UK, as in, when you become a teenager, you try to fit in because you feel that the real you is not enough. People are gonna judge you. So you try to put this personality where when you walk like your friends, you speak like your friends, you go and shop like your friends, you do everything. So that I lost my personality and I became miserable within, although I'm always happy, but inside I wasn't. So I decided I'm going to just become who I should become. So I decided to work on myself. I'll go into psychology, and psychology is really fun. Studying psychology is really, really fun. It actually helped me to bring out the best. And I never looked back. And from then to today, if I look back at the journey that I have been walking through that path, I could have easily given up to actually keep finding out who the real me, and keep praying to God to show me who I could become. Is there any hidden secret about who NOMSA could be? And I could have given up, but I didn't. I just kept going. Some days I was having bad days. And when I have bad days, I have my music with my earphones. I have a track and a music I play and I laugh. And that's what keeps me going. And I don't know with you, Carol Ann, and there's so many things that we take for granted in life. For me, is loving myself. I'll never ever take myself for granted. What God has given me, the gifts that God has given me, I want to explore. I want to find out why am I here on earth, and also the love that God has given me. I have to share that love with my friends, with my family. I remember when I gave up everything, the persona, and I was like, I'm going to meet this guy that I'm going to meet, and I'm just going to be me. He's going to have to bugger off if he doesn't like with the person that I am. Honestly, when Martin comes into the house, when I met him, like I will be laughing, smiling. I'm always smiling anyway, walking with barefoot or sometimes doing some other things. And he looks at me, he goes, NOMSA. I was like, yeah. And he goes, you are not fake, are you? I was like, why do I need to be fake? And I was like, I like your personality. You're completely bonkers. And I was like, I just have to. If the music plays the music that I like, I don't have to wait for anybody to be on stage. I just go and dance. I dance away, and in barefoot, in the rain. I don't care. Because God gave me the gift to be me, to accept me. But before, I would be like, what would people think? Oh, now I don't worry about what people think. I know I'm a nice person. I know I love people, and that's all I can do. And I know the love that I give is enough. to people. If somebody doesn't like me, I'm good with it.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I
Best
put my
way.
hands up.
That's the best way to be.
Honestly, I put my hands up.
And actually, being the best version of yourself, being the best, you means actually about living authentically. It is about being true to yourself and your values. Because if you're not true to yourself and true to your values, that is not being authentic. Because if you start being what other people want you to be, there's something in the background, in your voice, in your mind, or your being that's going, I don't really like this. This isn't me. So you're not being true to yourself. You're certainly not being authentic. And so it's really knowing what is it that matters to you. So you need to get to know yourself. What matters to you? What are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to not put up with? And so, yeah, what's important to you, not what's important to others. Because this is how you can then show up and live authentically and be the best version of yourself, be the best you. And so another way of being the best version of yourself is don't put off something that you've been wanting to do. Because again, you're not being true to yourself. There's things that you want to do and you're not doing it. So what is that thing that you're putting off doing? It could be running a marathon. It could be pursuing that degree that you wanted to do. Maybe it's something, for me, I never thought I was capable of actually going to university, let alone getting a degree. So when that opportunity came up, when with one of the first jobs I had day release to go and get a degree in maths. I hadn't thought about that possibility. That possibility came up. And so I was able to do it in 3 years rather than do the 4 years, because I was able to go straight into the second year because I had my teaching qualification, which was, my main subject was maths. So I did it in 3 years, and I did it as day release from the job that I was in, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. So something that I thought I wasn't capable of, all of a sudden, it was hard work, and at one point I didn't think I was actually going to achieve it, but I did. So I do have a degree. I have a Bachelor of Science in Maths. It's something I actually forget about. It's just like, okay, I've got it. So I never put the letters behind my name, but I could if I wanted to. But it was something that was personal for me, that I wanted to achieve. But just, quite a few years ago, I suddenly thought, maybe I would like to go further. Maybe I could go to university. So I did step into university arena, but I didn't get very far with it at that time. But it is something that I want to do. And then it became the cost. I don't have the money at the moment, and I'm my age, I can't get a loan. So I'm looking at funding myself, and I will do it. So I'm on that journey of.
What do you want to study?
It actually ended up, I think it's psychology, but it's to do with what I want to do is to show and prove the efficacy of Brain Gym. That was my goal when I first set out, because I want to actually look into and research and actually show the effects of Brain Gym and the potential that it has, because there isn't any proper research that's been done out there or peer reviewed, And so I thought, that's what I'd love to do. And I even got, they've got a course that is possible I had somebody that was interested all those years ago, but it didn't go anywhere because I found it really hard to write the essays that I needed to do, to find the words. It was just like, oh, I can't do this. And then I ran out of money, and I've gone, down that route. But I'm picking up again. It's still there for me to do, and I will do it. I've changed tack a little bit. I found another university where there's a course that I could do. I've got all the details. So there was a few years ago, I went and actually talked to somebody there. So I would love to go on to do a master's, to then do a PhD. It's like, why not? All of a sudden, these things are there, even though there's a part of me going, oh, I don't know if I could do the writing that's needed. There's a bigger part of me that's saying, actually, maybe I could. So I've been working on clearing what's been in the way. And so maybe for me, I'm working on being the best version of me, because maybe the best version of me is doing that academic work that I just never believed I could. And it does involve writing. So writing is key for me, unlocking that writer within. Writing a book, maybe you've got a book to write. Maybe there's a story to write. And this is where I now work, because I've been on that journey of unlocking the writer within. And I now support women in becoming more productive with their writing by unlocking that writer within, helping them get in touch with and connect with their deeper innate ability to write. Because we all have the ability to write. It's just that some of us have it more developed than others. That skill doesn't mean we can't do it. So let go of that disbelief and get curious, because that's where I went. I got curious. Okay, how am I going to write a book? What could I write about? Me, write a book? No, that was my initial reaction. But then I got curious. And so all these years I've been on this journey of exploring that. And yes, I have a couple of books on the go, and one that is really, it keeps saying, I need to be written now, I need to be written now. So I think that is where to get the next best version of me out is to focus on getting that book written, because that then is living authentically. I've said I'm going to do it. I need to do it.
Get on with it.
Get on with it. Exactly.
Get on with it. Get on with it. I put things on the site, but it doesn't last. I can put it for a week or 2 weeks, but then when I actually changed the university, the process was very quick. Now I'm finished anyway. I've changed it. Wow. The process is complete. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So the process to change universities is complete, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's complete.
Yeah. So you're now with a different university.
I don't like no drama.
No.
Yeah.
So you can get on with
the process is complete. It's just finding the best version of yourself is actually looking at your values, looking at your beliefs when you're going through something, and actually asking yourself, does this align with the person that I am or who I want to become? And just sort problems that I don't like problems hanging. I like to actually pull them down and sort them out. And when I pull them down, I'm okay. I just feel okay. But when things are hanging, I don't know how am I gonna finish this with the journey of my psychology, but I'm excited. It's actually
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it ends.
Yeah, because where it takes you.
Yeah, I want Gossip Talk Show to be a university one day, but I have to have the right qualifications. But I'm there. I'm nearly there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. And Gossip Talk Shows as a university.
Of course. That serves
Okay.
people around the world. So that's why my studying
Mm,
is never ending. I need to have the right qualifications for that.
I love
But
that. People around the
I'm doing
world.
them in psychology, getting into your head and
Yeah, how do people tick? Yeah, what is it
yeah.
that makes them tick? I know. And when I was actually studying psychology, I did psychology. I started doing the A level years ago. I did the AS, and then I got onto the A level, or the second part. But then I ran out of money, and you know where I was living changed, so I stopped. But I remember I felt like I had to keep staying open to what I was being taught, and just with it, and know that there was a lot of contradiction with what I now know. And I'm thinking, yeah, but this is old stuff that they're teaching you. And there's new things coming out. And I felt like there was, let's say, the contradiction. So maybe if I went back again now, I'd be able to articulate it more, or know what that contradiction I felt within me. But it was intriguing. I did a lot of work on myself, how I was showing up in each of the lessons I went to, and the struggle that I had. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So let's move on. But I think it's about accepting who you are and who you're not, and letting go of being perfect. It's saying, okay, this is perfect in its imperfectness, because this allows you to be the best of yourself. And this is the secret. It allows you to be at peace with yourself. That torment goes. You can be at peace with yourself. You can accept you for who you are and who you're not. And that allows you to then move forward into, okay, so what else could I be doing? So I think that's the thought I'd just like to leave you with. What else could you be doing? Where else could you be going? What's the next best version of yourself?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol. And for me, I would say just the first step for you to actually find the best version of yourself is take action. Don't wait for opportunities to come your way, and also don't wait for people to tell you who you could become. And you know your gift. Everyone knows. We might pretend that we don't know who we are, but we do know who we are. So find that inner child within. Go back to your childhood. Look at the things that you really, really love to do as a person, and just go for it. Because that person that was there is the person that you should have become. For me, when I was a child, I loved singing. I loved drama. I loved acting. I loved anything to do with psychology. I just loved it. Even if I go to school and if I'm wearing school shoes, and I see somebody else that they don't have school shoes, I take them off and give it to them. I go home, my grandmother will look at me and like, where's your shoes? I'm like, I've given them to somebody else. And then she'll be like, why? I'm like, I've got another pair. Why do I need more than one pair? So those are the gifts that I have, that I had to realize that I'm just not here on earth to be ordinary. I'm here to be extraordinary. So what can I do to give to other people so that they can benefit and have that full potential? Is for me to actually go for the things that I want. You have to build the foundation as well. The foundation, it requires you to understand who you are and the people around you, and the person that you enter a relationship with, you date. they play a big part of what your life becomes. Because if you are dating the wrong person, that can hold you back. Because if you are not happy at home in that foundation, there is no way that you can be happy in the office, or you can get creative. We get creative. Businesses and promotions are built from the creativity. You look at something, the art, the picture, you hear things in your head. Maybe sometimes God speaks to you, the angels of God speak to you, giving some ideas. In order for you to create something out of it, you need a clear mind. So you have to choose your friends, your environment. We can't change our family. I tell off my family anyway. I tell them that I love you very much, but I have a journey that I need to complete. So it's either you walk with me or you decide I come and get you. So I have to walk at the front. And if my family are deciding whether they want to support me, and they'll follow me. But I love my family. We're very close, very close family anyway. So all those things, they play a big part in your life. Never let anyone define your destiny, who you could be, and don't talk yourself out of your destination. We are good at talking ourselves out of who we could become. Just know that you are here to be something, but that something is in here for you to find out. A coach is there to trigger it. So if you are somebody who is in a confused.com, we have all different coaches from all walks of life at Nkosi Talk Shows, like Carol Ann. She's explained that she's a writing facilitator. And for me, I'm a psychologist and a love harmonist. Love is what I harmonize. I harmonize love by going back to your childhood and finding out what has gone wrong, why are you becoming this person, and also looking at our ancestors, your generational journey with your ancestors. Who were they? Your parents, who were they? And why this behavior? And then we cut every cord, break every chain so you can live freely. So that's how I work. If you're looking for love, you have to go through coaching, but not everyone wants coaching. Some people, they've been through Tony Robbins, they're ready to go. So if you are that person that is ready to go, is fine as well. All I have to do, means less job for me. All I have to do is to introduce you to a woman or to a man, and then you can select the right person for yourself. So that's how I work. And Nkosi Talk Shows as well, we help you find your own voice and lead from within, because we have our voice within. We are the leaders of our own destination, but we expect people to tell us if we are good enough or we are not good enough. So when you come here to Nkosi Talk Shows, we walk together through dark times until you say, now I understand who I need to be, and then we let you go. Then you bring us more clients. That's how we work. God bless. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. We are here at Nkosi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And please subscribe to our channel and follow us on our Facebook page. Give us some stars on Facebook page. On LinkedIn, guys, follow us as well on our Facebook page, on our YouTube as well. It'd be lovely to have all our families everywhere. God bless.